Q2. Is that okay to you? The distance between these two charges is r squared. Which direction is it acting? This charge is exerting a force in this direction, and therefore R12 unit vector. The equation now becomes very beautiful. Exactly in a similar way, I will write F12 is the force exerted by charge Q2 on Q1 as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. 2 is exerting a force on Q1 in this direction, and therefore I will write R12 unit vector. I suppose you understand what I am saying. Sir, charges Q1 and Q2 are exactly fixed at this point, which means they are not going to change. If that be the case, I can as well say R21 unit vector is equal to R12 unit vector but pointing in opposite direction. Hopeful. Therefore, let me replace from this equation F12 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon r squared. Now, in the place of R21, this one, minus R12 unit vector. Correct? Now, if you look at this, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, Q1 Q2, r squared, R12 is equal to F21. Therefore, I will write F12 vector is equal to minus F21 vector, which means these two forces are equal and opposite, which means it is agreeing with Newton's third law of motion as well. Therefore, force exerted by charges are of equal magnitude and are in opposite direction. Forces exerted by charges on each other are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Since they are equal and opposite, Coulombic force, I will also call it as Newtonian force, action-reaction force. So just simply writing 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by Q2 upon r squared, this equation becomes very, very meaningful. Is that okay to you? We don't stop here. We need to go further and discuss Coulomb's force in terms of their position vectors. I will also do that today and stop and continue in the next class, right? I will just rub this off. particular diagram, I have shown two charges, point charges Q1 and Q2 located at points A and B. They are placed in vacuum. The position vectors of these two charges from the origin O I have denoted as R1 vector and R2 vector. I suppose you can see that very clearly in the diagram. There are 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 located at points A and B, and the position vectors of these two vectors from the origin O are R1 and R2 respectively. I have shown this in a 3-dimensional coordinate system. That's the reason why I have drawn X, Y and Z. Therefore, I will write F12 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R21 square into R21 unit vector. Charge Q2 is exerting a force on charge Q1. This will be exerting in this direction, that is therefore R21 squared into R21 unit vector. Now, if a vector is divided by its magnitude, you get a unit vector. I repeat, a vector divided by its magnitude will give you a unit vector. And therefore, see, this is a vector. R21 is a vector. I am dividing it by its magnitude, R21, and therefore I get a unit vector, R21 unit vector. Please understand, a vector divided by its magnitude gives you an unit vector. Therefore, I am going to change this expression. F12 vector 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R21 squared. In the place of this, I will write here R21 vector upon R21. And therefore, this expression becomes equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R21 cube into R21 vector. I suppose to understand this. Now, we test a little bit of mathematics you have studied in +2. That is, applying triangle law of vectors. Applying triangle law of vectors. What I am doing? See, I am taking this triangle. R2 vector plus R21 unit vector will give me R1 vector. R2 is opposite. This is triangle of vectors. Okay. Now, from this, I find out R21 okay. R21 unit vector, I will write it as this. Also, I will put it as vector set R21 vector. Okay, I will put it as vector. Okay. R21 vector is equal to R1 vector minus R2 vector. In other words, I will write mod R21 vector is equal to mod of R1 vector minus R2 vector. Okay. This I am going to substitute here. Where? In this expression. Therefore, the expression becomes F12 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon mod of R1 vector minus R2 vector the whole cube into R1 vector Is that clear? In a very similar way, I can modify now. I will write similarly F21 vector 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon mod of R2 minus R1 vector cube into R2 vector minus R1 vector. Is that okay to you? This is for two charges. You can have multiple charges. I will rub this off. Therefore, I say for multiple charges, F1 of R1 vector. Okay? This is F12 plus F13 plus F14 and so on, F1 and like this. We can substitute, generalize the statement. F1 vector of R1 position vector 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 R1 vector minus R2 vector upon mod of R1 vector minus R2 vector the whole cube. Okay, plus Q1 Q3 R1 vector minus R3 vector upon mod of R1 minus R3 vector. Okay, the whole cube. Similarly, Q1 Qn R1 vector minus Rn vector mod of R1 vector minus Rn vector. So this is nothing but the principle of superposition. Principle of superposition. To find the total charge acting on a particular charge, in this case Q1 due to the rest of the charges, Q2, Q3, Qn. So we just, I suppose you have understood what I have taught today in terms of a vector, the Coulomb's inverse square law, and also in terms of its position vectors. Please go through this, listen to this video. You chumma can't see it like a serial or a cinema. You need to have a paper pen with you or a notebook pen with you. Sit and make notes of what I have done today, so that when you meet again, probably we will continue from where we have stopped. Okay? We will try to make things as simpler as possible, but unless and until you study as and when I teach this, it accumulates, and then it becomes very difficult for you to recapitulate everything and again put it in the paper. Okay? So please give your honest comments as to how you feel the class, and please don't tell me that I need to teach in Tamil. That's not possible in a recorded version. Okay? We stop it here, continue in the next class. Until then, goodbye.